Hello, vintage outboard motor fans. This is T Mike here at T Mike's Vintage Outboards, making another video today. This video is going to be on the $64,000 question of ethanol or non-ethanol gas. I'm going to give you my recommendation on what I use in my vintage outboards. All right, so if everybody's ready, here we go. So just a little background on what ethanol and non-ethanol gas is, for those of you who aren't aware. Back in the day, the difference used to be high octane, low octane, the percentage of octane level in the gas. Now almost all gas have the proper level of octane, so you don't have to worry about the regular or premium grade. The regular unleaded gas is fine. The octane level is good. But several years ago, in the wisdom of the Save the Planet people, decided that they needed to lower the fossil fuel emissions from gas, so they started adding additives to it to do that. And one of the additives is corn. So ethanol, gasoline has corn mixed into it, which has a tendency over time to solidify and clog your carburetors. All right, so it's at, I believe, 10% right now. They're trying to raise it to 15% ethanol in your gas. So you couldn't buy non-ethanol gas up until the last year or two. Now you have some stations that are producing, have pumps that are non-ethanol. So the problem with the ethanol gas and the corn in it solidifying over time is it clogs your carburetor. So that becomes a problem in motors that aren't run very often. The gas sits there long enough to solidify in the bowl or in the jets of your carburetor and clog it. On engines that are run often enough, the gas does not have time to corrupt with solidified corn in it. So that's why in your cars you can burn ethanol gas and not have a problem, because you're burning a tank a week. It takes weeks, if not months, for that gas to go bad. So my final conclusion on my recommendation for my motors is I burn ethanol gas. Okay, I don't go looking for non-ethanol because it causes problem in your carburetor. I burn ethanol gas, but I run my motors. All right, every 30 days I go on every motor I have and I make sure I run it. I have a filter in line blocking that solidified corn from getting through the filter, so you have to run all the gas past the filter in the fuel line and in the carburetor bowl out and get it refreshed with clean gas. All right, so here again I have several boats, 200 Yamahas, 40 Yamahas. I have several engines that I run, and I do not use ethanol-free gas. All right, I burn ethanol gas, but I run my motors, and I run that gas through them. So that's T Mike's suggestion. Those of you that don't run your motors that often, you probably need to use ethanol-free gas. And here's the other $64,000 question I get all the time is, should I run the gas out of my carburetor when I finish using it every time, or should I just leave the gas in there? And here again, I have an unorthodox answer. My answer is no, I don't run the gas out of my carburetors, for the simple reason that I run them often. And if you run the gas out of your engine every time, that gas has oil mixed in it, which lubricates the seals and the fuel lines. And if you run all that out of there, there's no oil left in there to keep it lubricated, and your seals and your hoses dry up. Okay, so I hope this makes sense to you. It's just T Mike's recommendation. I burn ethanol gas, but I run my motors at least every 30 days, and I don't run the fuel out of my motors because I run them often enough to keep the corrupted fuel from forming. All right, so I hope everybody enjoyed it. See you next video. Hope you all enjoyed the video here at T Mike's Vintage Outboards, We're doing it one motor at a time. Please subscribe. I guarantee to provide weekly videos. Au revoir, mes amis, and laissez les bon temps rouler.